Okay, so he picked. I told him to come pick me up. We were going to go to uh, Putting Edge in Whitby, and um, when he first started driving, like when he texted me saying that he was leaving, I actually sent him the wrong address. I sent him to my old house accidentally, and then realized like halfway through and was like, oh shit. So I sent him the new address because I had like just moved like literally like a month beforehand, and then like when he had first asked me out, he like sent me a date idea. He originally wanted to take me to a cafe, like the 8-bit beans, to like play like little arcade games and stuff, and I thought that was super cute. But then he switched it to mini putting because he wanted it to be like, I don't know, more of like something that we could both talk and do something with instead of just like sitting down and not really being able to talk to each other. So we went there. I was wearing a green blouse. It was like it tied up in two parts, and blue jeans, and I think he was wearing a gray sweater. He picked me up in the truck, and I remember seeing the truck and being like, okay, bonus points, even though he didn't really like the truck. I liked the truck. It added character. And then we bought the tickets. He paid for everything, and we started. I was about to say bowling. We didn't go bowling. We went mini putting. We started mini putting, and I was really bad at it. I was not good. Drew was okay, but like I was like doing a really bad job, to be quite honest with you. Like it was kind of embarrassing, and it was taking us a lot longer than I expected it to take us. So I was kind of a little embarrassed because I was like, oh shit, like, I'm kind of shit at it. I'm not too good at this. And then we just talked. We talked a lot. He asked me about like spirituality and stuff, and like I was just kind of like letting him know a little bit about like how I am as a spiritualist, but like not wanting to like give too much information as well because I didn't want to like scare him off. Um, and then at when we were finally done, we like I didn't want to go home, and I guess like he didn't want to go home either. So we ended up going to Hollywood Cone, and we got a milkshake. I got the Simpsons one with like the Simpsons donut. Really bad idea. The whole time I have IBS and like I'm not good with milk, so the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, like my belly's gonna start rumbling, or I'm gonna start like farting in the car on the way home or something, and that's gonna be super embarrassing. But I didn't. My tummy pulled through until I got home, which is nice. Yeah, we were there for a little bit, and then we walked back over to the truck, sat in the truck for a little bit, and then he drove me home to the right house, not to my old house, and he didn't try to kiss me goodbye, which I really liked. I think I actually leaned in to hug him. I don't even think he was going to do anything. I think he was just going to like say goodbye and like let me go inside. But yeah, I hugged him, and then he texted me afterwards like saying like I had a really good time. Like maybe we could do this again, and we did. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It was a good first date, I think. It was a good first date, not I think. It was. Yeah.
Okay, my first date with Rayanne. I'm not gonna drop the whole govy. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember the exact day that it was, but I do remember it took a lot of nerve to ask it. I asked her on Instagram. I seen her on Tinder, and then she had her Instagram, so I followed her Instagram, and I just remember like walking around showing pictures of people saying like this is gonna be my girl, like I'm gonna ask this girl out, and then I ended up, yeah, I did it. I asked her out. I don't remember. It was on February 25th. I remember that. I asked her out on February 25th that she wanted to go on a date. She gave me her Instagram, or well, I had her Instagram. She gave me her Snapchat, and she also gave me her phone number as well, I think. Um, and then I just snapped her a little bit. We made a date, and our initial date was to go downtown Whitby and go to the arcade in downtown Whitby, like the 8-bit beans or whatever, because that place is like, it's a vibe, you know, it's a cool place. But we didn't go there because it snowed like out of nowhere. So we like rescheduled to the next week, and then that next week I took her to not Dimitri's, Putting Edge, glow in the dark mini golf. That's the way to a woman's heart. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we went there, and we putted it up again, like a little bit. Obviously, I let her win. It's gotta be a gentleman, I guess. And then after, I was unsatisfied. I was like, that was only like 30 minutes. So I was like, do you want to go to Hollywood Cone? Yes. And we went to Hollywood Cone, and we sat there for like an hour and a half, and I got like a peanut butter smoothie thing, or a Reese's peanut butter smoothie thing that was way too sugary. And then from there we kind of just sat around and we talked, and then we got to know each other a little bit. She told me a lot about her cat and her grandfather. I remember that. And then pretty much after that day, it was a wrap. Like, I saw her almost every single day from that point. And from that point, I've seen her pretty much every single day since then.
So I don't know how I should start it. Like,
So
do you want to start it?
Basically, I had to step up. I had to message her first, because, it's what the guy does.
I didn't even know who he was, so yeah, he did have to message me first.
Okay, well, how about I didn't know who she was, so I had to message her first.
Okay.
That's facts. I had to go out of my way. I already said it. I didn't have to go out of my way. Alright, I'm rewording it. Basically, I had matched her on Tinder. You've heard my side of it. I followed her on Instagram. Not you. I'm talking to them.
Right.
I matched her on Tinder, but I was like, I don't know, Tinder's not hitting the same. Tinder's not hitting right. So I had to go on Instagram.
Which was a bonus, because if he messaged me on Tinder, I wouldn't have responded.
Yeah, apparently.
I wouldn't have.
But,
I would have responded, but it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Okay. Okay, keep going. Let's go!
Okay, so I messaged her, and... No, before I messaged her, I showed everyone her. This is my favorite part, is that I showed everyone, I was like, look at this girl, this is gonna be my girlfriend. And then I messaged her, and now here we are. I basically just asked her on the spot. I'm just kidding.
No.
I messaged her on February 25th. Don't remember the time exactly, but that's when I messaged her.
It was afternoonish.
Sure.
Or I opened it afternoonish.
I think it was in the middle of a Tim Hortons shift, actually, that I messaged her.
So romantic.
Yeah, I was at work. And then we made plans to go out to an arcade in downtown Whitby.
8-bit beans.
8-bit beans, but it didn't happen because it snowed. It was a freak storm. There was just tons of snow. I don't know where it came from. And in March? I'm just kidding. But yeah, there was a lot of snow. So we couldn't go. We rescheduled. And then,
that's why we didn't go. Mm-hmm. I was wondering why. Mm-hmm. He also didn't I wanted to still go to 8-bit beans as our first date, but he didn't really want to do that as the first date. So we decided on mini putt, glow in the dark mini putt, and I don't think either of us wore anything that glowed in the dark.
No, we did not.
No.
Actually, no. My shoes glowed in the dark.
I was wearing
all black.
Oh, I thought you were wearing a gray sweater, but I knew you were wearing black pants.
I still remember my fit.
I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing a green blouse that tied up with two things here, and I remember it specifically because we were gonna go to a family thing a couple months ago, and I asked if I should wear that shirt, and I don't think he remembered that was the shirt I wore on the first date, but he said no, I don't really like that shirt. And then I was like, oh, I wear that on the first
I don't remember saying that either.
Yeah.
But apparently I said it.
He did. I actually gave that shirt away too. Not because of him. Not because of him. I didn't wear it anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, we went on that date. I wore all black to the glow in the dark mini putt.
Okay.
And the only thing that wasn't black was my shoes. And then after, mini put took like 2 seconds to do. I was like, oh shoot.
I felt like it took forever.
Did you?
Because I was so bad at it.
I felt like it took forever because it took so long.
I was really bad.
No,
yeah, I was really bad.
That bad.
I wasn't horrible, but like I definitely was the reason.
You know what?
That
we've
longer.
gone since then,
and I've
she's
improved.
gotten better.
Yeah.
I have got worse though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it felt like it ended in like 30 minutes or something, 35 minutes.
This time flies, man.
I was so like pretty good ice cream spot right across from here.
That I knew of already, and we went to. Yeah. And I got the Simpsons one, like the Simpsons donut one, didn't I not? I think.
Didn't you get something with like a brownie?
I thought I got the Simpsons donut.
She might have got the donut, I think. I don't. Maybe I got the donut and you got the brownie.
Maybe he got the donut and I got the brownie.
It was something like that. They were just some crazy.
Brownie is more up my lane, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I was saying that this one in mine. Like I remember like being like really wanting the ice cream, but like being so nervous to get it because.
And she also gave me the wrong address.
Yeah, I mentioned the first part. I gave him. Okay, so I had just moved, like literally like a week or two before we went on our first date. So when he asked me for my address, I just sent like the address I was used to typing in. I wasn't used to this address yet. So like he was probably like halfway there. And it's funny too.
I was more than halfway there.
He's more than halfway there.
She's like, oh, don't hit me, I gave you the wrong address.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's no problem. Let's go.
And the funny part is like my house is close to the skate park that he goes to often. So I literally like that I live in now. So when I messaged him, I was like, oh, like I live right across from blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, cool, which is like a 5-minute drive from his house. And then so when he's like driving to the address that I originally gave him, he's like, this girl is a liar. Like no, she does not live across from blah, 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 which I did. I just messed up.
No, I was driving there and I was just like, this doesn't seem like it's near the skate park.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't.
And I had a feeling. After I got halfway there, I already knew she'd probably give me the wrong address. But I was like, I'm just going to keep driving there. And then she messaged me probably. She's like, oh, this is the new address. And then I went there. And yeah, we did the mini putt. We went to the thing, to the Hollywood Cone. That was where it was.
Hollywood Cone. Yeah.
I don't think it's still there. Go to that Hollywood Cone in the Landmark Plaza on the peak.
It might
a good
still
Hollywood
be there.
Cone. Anyways, we just sat there and we just chit-chatted it up for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was like almost until they were like ready to close.
Like ready to close, yeah.
And then we're just like...
Because we were like the last ones in there. I think there was like one other one other couple in there.
Or yeah, like some like...
Or like a mom. Or like I think it was like a dad and his daughter,
something
actually.
Like that. And then
after
that I was like, alright, well, date's over, buddy. I'm taking you home. And then we hopped in the old truck ski, which is no longer with us.
No.
And we putted back to our house, where I didn't try to kiss her.
He did not try to kiss me, which was bonus points as well, because I did not want him to try to kiss me.
And she thought it was short too.
I did think he was short. I almost
didn't
answer him because I thought he was short. Not that it's a problem if you're short, but I'm 5'7", so you can't be shorter than me. And he wasn't short, so, you know, I took the risk and it worked out, so good things come to those who take the risks.
I took the risk, you know, I wanted a date that was paid for.
It was I think it was a good first date. Do you think it was a good first date?
It was a good first date. It was like a Hollywood first date. It was like the ones you see in the movies. Hey, you want to go play some mini golf and get some ice cream? And that's what it was like. I don't know what movie that's been in, but...
Probably a bunch of them.
Yeah, that was our date.
It was cute, yeah.
It was the pretty basic date, but it was a good date. It was a good date. That's all.
Afterwards, we just texted each other. I think we FaceTimed a lot, actually, and then
it was 2 days after we went on the date. I asked her if she wanted to come to the skate park, and then she was like, "Okay." And she came over, and then from that point on, every single day,
we just spent every single day together.
Because it was COVID, I was like, I made a new friend. I can't see anyone else right now. Not that that would have changed anything if I could. I'm just saying, that's
so romantic.
That's I was just like, hey, let's go hang out, and we did.
Yeah.
And then here we are, giving nuggies all the time.
Yeah.
I don't.
No. No, it was a good first date,
And
yeah, now we're here.
action. Just kidding, cut. So, like, what my opinions of love before I met Ray. I had like a really different idea of love before I met Ray. I mean, growing up, both my parents were together like my whole life. They still are. So like I saw them kind of together, and I saw the way that they treated each other, and they treat each other pretty well. Like they love each other. So from like ever since I could remember, I've seen my parents showing affection to each other. I've seen my grandparents, both sides, showing affection to each other and stuff like that. But because of my first relationship, that changed the way I saw love, and I saw it to be more of like this isn't how I saw it for myself, but this is how I saw it. This is how I thought I was supposed to give love, and the way that I thought I was supposed to give love was by like, how much will I do for you, and how much will I spend for you, and blah blah blah. It was almost like a commercialized idea of what love is. Like it was materialistic, and it wasn't like on a deeper level. Like I still loved, you know what I mean? Like I still loved before Ray, but my idea of love compared to how it is now, compared to how she's opened up my mind and my heart to like the idea of love is entirely different now. Like for me, it just feels like something that has to be so like organic, you know? Like it's nothing forced. There's nothing ever forced. If she's upset, then I find myself like, if I'm upset and she's upset, I find myself apologizing to her first instead of like trying to feel better, and then we talk about our problems and stuff like that. And I feel like because of her, my idea of love is just natural and it's open. It's like, you know, everything, you put everything out there and you be open about it, and you let things happen naturally, and you know, you learn to think and take consideration for other people instead of react to things. I don't know if that part makes sense, but to me it does. Yeah, I think honestly my idea of love before Ray was just, how much will I do, and how much can I do, and how much can I give? You know what I mean? And like that's part of love, but that's not what love is, you know? Yeah, I feel like that's what I would say, honestly, what I thought love was before compared to what I think it is now.
My opinion of love is an interesting opinion. I am a big lover of love. I think love is a beautiful thing. I grew up with a lot of different representations of love around me. My parents' relationship, my parents split up when I was like 12, but before that, all I saw was this like beautiful love that they gave to each other. Even after they split up, they still had love for each other, and you could see that in like the things that they would do and the way that they treated my brother and I, and the positions they kind of set up for my brother and I. Love is scary. It's very interesting. I definitely was not looking for love, mostly because I thought that if like, sometimes I think I used to look at love as something that you almost put like love in a romantic relationship made me feel like you had to put like almost all of you into it. And I think now, I still think that you do put a whole lot of you into it, but you put a lot of that love into yourself as well, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Love is intense. It's platonic and romantic. It can start off as platonic and then goes into romantic, and that scares me too. But I think that since love is so scary, I think that's what I like so much about it. It's very interesting. And it teaches you a lot. So I think that's my opinion on love. I wasn't looking for love when Drew and I first when he first came into my life. I actually wanted the opposite. I wanted just friends, platonic relationships, people that I could love without any conditions. And that changed, and I'm happy that changed. I think it's a good thing, and I'm glad that it's put me in the position that I am now. How we think that we've grown and like
How
see
we can see
ourselves
ourselves
in
in
each
each
other.
other. I've had exponential growth, actually. Um,
Exponential.
yeah, no, I've had a lot of growth
Said a lot.
on a real ting. I've had a lot of growth. When I met Rayanne, I don't even know how I describe myself. I just describe myself as Drew. Drew just being somebody who goes out and skateboards, I play basketball, I go to work. I wasn't really in school at that point in time. Not that I don't do all those things now when I'm with Rayanne, but I feel like it's a whole lot more than just that. Rayanne definitely introduced and opened my eyes to a whole new sense of spirituality, which I have so much appreciation for, because before, um, when I think of things like spirituality, that wasn't either Christianity or Islam or any of the big forms of spirituality or religion. I used to think things like what are those signs? Astrology. I thought that was all just a load of garbage.
Mumbo jumbo.
And just I thought it was
That was
a
just
pseudoscience
every other
and stuff
girl
like that.
that
No,
liked
I didn't
astrology.
think you were every other girl that just loved astrology. I thought you were definitely different because you were a lot more immersed within astrology and spirituality. So I didn't think you were just any basic girl who knows a little bit about astrology and astrological science and stuff like that. Before Rayanne, I thought it was definitely a sort of pseudoscience, and it just didn't make sense to me. But after a while, her explaining this sides of spirituality to me, and all kinds of different spiritualities opened my eyes to so much more, and it's changed my beliefs. And I think if I could say how she would see herself presented in me now, I feel that's how she would see herself presented in me, is the fact that I am just a lot more close, I'm a lot closer, more in touch with my I guess ancestral spirituality, and just the sense of spirituality that I have now. And even not even on a spirituality thing, Rayanne has just changed my perspective of a lot of things, just because she challenges me to look at things through a different lens and through a different perspective, which I am actually forever grateful for, because if you can expand your perspective on not just one thing but anything, then you can you can change yourself, you can change the world, you can be the change you want to see. That's what I would say. How I would see myself presented in Rayanne, I don't even know. Maybe she's a little bit goofier. She doesn't take things as seriously anymore, which is good sometimes, I guess. Just because, why would we take life so serious? I don't think she took life very seriously, not super seriously before. She's able to laugh at herself, but I think she has the ability to.
I definitely have more of a dry humor.
Yeah, she does. It's not that funny. It's not funny.
I'm funny.
She's funny, just her dry humor's not.
Yes, it is. It is. I can be goofy, but yeah, 100%. Drew is now I kind of want to just thank him for all the things that he just said, the nice things he said about me. But wow, yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know, but it's just a lot to say. Um, when I like first met Drew, like,
She thought it was short.
that was before I met him actually. When I first met Drew, like, I thought he was so interesting. Like, I thought we were very different, but I could see like very like I just felt like this sense of like he's understanding what I'm saying. I felt like heard, like when I was talking to him. You know what I mean? It just felt like um, when I was speaking, the things that I was saying like weren't just being like heard; they were kind of being absorbed, and that's such a nice way to feel sometimes, especially because a lot of the time I feel like my thoughts and like what I want to put out into the world can be like crazy or like too much for people. Um, so it's nice. It makes you feel like accepted and very like just like heard and seen. Um, I think the way that like Drew shows up in me is I definitely am. I'm a little more goofy now. Or it's not even that I wasn't goofy before. Like he made me feel like he makes me like feel like I can like be goofy in front of like anyone. You know, like I can just be myself in front of anyone, and that's so like special and interesting to me because like I think that's something I definitely really struggled with before.
Don't
I'm
cry.
gonna
You don't
stop
have to
so we
cry.
get
Don't
emotional.
cry. I know I'm great. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I would say one more thing is like I don't even think I can describe the way that I see myself in Rayanne. Like I think that that's only something I will ever be able to see, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's how something should be. I think not everyone needs to see every aspect of my or needs to understand, not even needs to see it, because everyone will inevitably see my relationship with Rayanne, but not everyone needs to understand the certain things about our relationship the way that I do or the way that she does. So I would say I can't even describe how I can't even fully describe how I would see myself in Rayanne, but I do see parts of myself in Rayanne. I see just
I can finish.
so many different parts. But yeah, let her finish. Do your thing.
I'm very emotional. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I'm a crier. So um, that's another big thing is like I've always been very okay with like showing emotions in front of people, but like surface level. Drew has taught me that it's okay to like be vulnerable. I feel like he's always been like this straight shooter. He he makes people feel comfortable around them. I think that I have had that effect on people. Um, but he's like I don't know, just taught me to like I don't know expand that further and the challenging beliefs thing is that's a huge thing is like if I'm wrong like he'll tell me it's not just like
Gotta
okay
check her sometimes. Let her know.
I it's like oh yeah I'll go along with that it's like no like this is why I think you're wrong and he'll have explanations to back it up and like I think that that's something that I really need especially for a relationship to be progressive and to just always like learn and change and grow with each other like you need that like that challenge like you don't need yes men always like obviously he's gonna be like my yes man but he's also gonna be my no man
I
and
gotta be the hype
tell
man
me
sometimes,
yeah
like,
um
yeah.
yeah
I think that's like the one thing, not the one thing, but that's one of the things that I've seen like the both of us say is that we both challenge each other. Like I will challenge her perspectives when she thinks she's right and I don't think she's right. And
I
she'll
can
do
be
the
stubborn
same thing for me.
but
like,
so can he is we're both stubborn and that's what makes it work even better because sorry to cut you off we'll both do that a lot to each other as well I might do it a little bit more
I'm just kidding.
he does it to me too though and but yeah right like what was I just saying
You're just saying how it's good that we both challenge each other's like perspectives. Now we're both stubborn. We can both be stubborn, and
but it's a good thing because it's not a good thing that we're stubborn, but it helps because like we can make each other a little less stubborn if that makes sense. Or like we realize when we are, and it's like oh you do that, and it's like oh I do that too. Okay, we can work on this together. And that's super cool. I think that's really important in like a healthy relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm gonna say, because I don't want to like keep this going too long, but like I think the last thing I'll say is that, you know, like the only person, not the only person, but one of the only people in my life that I am willing to change for is Rayanne. And I'm not saying change who I am and change
I would
like
never ask him to change the person he is.
change the person that I am, but like, you know, there's things about
Willing
myself
to
that I
work
am.
on yourself.
Yeah, I'm willing to work on myself, and there's things that I am willing to change in order to like have a better relationship. And I think out of all of like the junk you see about relationships on social media, I've seen that on social media, and I think that's the one thing. The only thing is is that. It's the only thing that I could say is like the one thing that you can salvage from all of the, part of my French, the bullshit that you see on like Twitter or Instagram or anything, because a lot of people let social media control their relationship. A lot of people let social media dictate how the relationship is run because they see these odd standards that are set by other people. But I think that is the one standard that I've always seen, that I will always agree with, and that's like, if you really do love someone, then you will be willing to work on yourself and work on the parts of yourself that, you know, aren't necessarily the most desirable sometimes. So yeah, I think she's one of the few people in my life that I am willing to change for, because don't change for anybody. You know, be true to you. But that's the last thing I'm gonna say. So